Amonkhet Draft Archetypes, let's dive right into it. The 6 main themes in the set are Zombies, Embalm, Cycle Discard, -1 counters, Exert Beatdown, and Ramp. Now, if I had to give one piece of advice, it would be this. Run as many colors as your mana fixing will allow. This is because many of the 6 themes overlap and span 3 or more colors, as we will soon see. But let's get back to the archetypes. The first archetype, Zombies. This archetype is centered in black with heavy support from white. Both colors have many cards that reward zombie creatures specifically, so we want as many of these cards as possible. But zombie creatures in Amonkhet are on the weaker side, so you'll need to look for key cards to turn your zombies into real threats. Since we're on the topic of zombies, let's talk about our second archetype, Embalm. Embalm is a new mechanic centered on white and blue that allows you to create zombie tokens using creatures in your graveyard. The goal of this archetype is to neutralize your opponent's threats until they run low on cards, at which point you use Embalm to gain card advantage. If you're confident enough to run 3 colors, consider going Esper, as all 3 colors support zombies. And if you like running more than 2 colors, then you'll love our next archetype, Cycle Discard. Cycling cards can be found across all 5 colors, but cycling is the heaviest in black, blue, and red. And since cycling draws you cards, it's a great way to find the lands you need to run 3 or even 4 colors. The goal of this archetype is to cycle cards until you reach late game, at which point you have the advantage since cycling is often found on cards with high casting costs. Plus, don't forget to pick up cards that reward you for cycling. And expect to see a lot of variations of this archetype as different color combinations do different things. For example, blue-red cycling favors prowess and putting cards into your graveyard, whereas red-black cycling is more aggressive and favors low hand sizes. But enough of cycling, let's move on to our next archetype, -1 counters. This archetype is centered in black and green, although red has a few cards for support. -1 counters might seem bad at first, as it is your creatures receiving the -1 counters. But with the right cards, you'll slowly remove these counters to yield some of the most powerful creatures in the set. And if big creatures are your thing, then you'll love this next archetype, Exert Beatdown. Exert is a new mechanic that powers up the attacking creature in exchange for it not untapping on the following turn. Exert is evenly distributed across red, green, and white, and if you manage to exert multiple creatures at once, you'll get some big creatures that will be difficult for your opponent to block. This archetype is the most aggressive in the set, and it will punish any decks that lack removal or are too slow to set up. The last main archetype is Ramp. This archetype relies on green with support from blue. And believe it or not, green is the only color able to produce mana in this set. What's even more crazy is that despite all the archetypes that favor 3 or more colors, the only dual lands in the set are rares. Thus, green ramp is useful for mana fixing and speeding up slow decks. But if you want to run green ramp, make sure you pick up the cards early because they make a great addition to any deck. Going back to what I said earlier, this set really is all about running as many colors as your mana fixing will allow, since more colors gives you more access to the cards that fit your deck's theme. So when building a deck, the first thing you should ask is, how will you get your mana? Will it be from green or from cycling? Once that's answered, then you can figure out what your deck's theme is and go from there. If you want to see more Amonkhet videos, you can let me know by subscribing below. And if there are any topics you want me to cover, tell me in the comments as I do read every comment. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a great day.